Welcome to a day in the life of a counselor. Your day will begin by waking up. You will sometimes hear music from the outside. As your alarm clock goes off, there will be a specific time for you as a counselor to be able to go ahead and get to the shower house and hopefully get some hot water. When you come back, you will begin your day by getting the students out of bed. The rest of the time of the morning as you get ready, please encourage them to shower. Of course, for the junior students, that may not happen until about Thursday when you encourage them to shower. As the day goes on, you will have cabin cleanup at some point in time. That means please use a broom sometime during the week. Cleanup, I think, is important because that's when you begin to put the campers' things together in one spot. As the week goes on, you will find that they will have their things strung out everywhere. And it's important to at least keep it in a pile so that they can keep their things together. For many of you, the smell in a cabin during the week will not be something that you're excited about. But if you have them hang up their wet clothes, they will at least not smell as bad as you would if they were just piled up. We encourage people not to have food in their cabins because if you have food in your cabins, little critters like ants will find you, and we have bigger critters in the woods, so you make the choice what you want your cabin to be like. An important part of living in a cabin is you sharing your personal spiritual growth. Devotions is a great time to do that, especially in the beginning of the week. As the week goes on, that could be an opportunity for the students to share their devotional thoughts as they go throughout the week and what they have learned. Also, please make sure that each student takes care of their own things. Often we have things that come up missing in a cabin, and that will cause lots of issues in your cabin. So please help the students take care of their own things and encourage them not to bother other people's stuff. As you live with these 14 students throughout the week, there will be opportunities for conflict to happen. One of the biggest areas we see in conflict is when things come up missing. So please try to resolve that. A lot of times it is just gotten put in someone else's things. So make sure you get those two students alone, take care of it immediately. Don't just allow it to and think it will go away, but please try to deal with that as soon as you can. Another thing that we will expect for you to do is please tell your campers that if any time they feel uncomfortable in any uncomfortable situation, they need to report that to me, the camp director, or someone on the staff. In today's society, we have to make sure that we protect children. One of the guidelines that we've taught around here for several years is please do not touch students in areas that will be covered by bathing suits. A lot of times our students need comfort, and that is fine. Please take care of them and please comfort them, but make sure that you are protecting yourself and keeping the safety of the child in mind. As you are a counselor in a cabin, there will be opportunities for things to come up that are important to students. A challenge for us as counselors is try to figure out what is being used for shock value and is what is really the truth. As students begin to tell you their life stories, there will be important things that you need to listen to. We as the West Virginia Baptist Camp are mandated reporters. So if a student tells you about an abuse situation, please bring that to the director immediately. Please do not tell these students you will not tell somebody if there are issues that are going on that are harmful to them or harmful to other people, because the law requires that we are mandated reporters. Please let me remind you of something very specific that you may think I'm silly talking about this on video, but just a reminder. Please do not lay down in bed with your students. I know that sounds crazy, but there will be opportunities when kids will want to lay down beside of you in bed. But because of the actions and things that are going on in our society, it will just protect you, and it will protect the kids, and it will protect the camp if you do not do that. Roughhousing, yeah. Cabins, especially for boys, can sometimes get very physical. And you need to understand, if you allow them to have a pillow fight, then they're not going to immediately lay down and go to bed. I think you need to make sure that you always have it under control and that you don't allow students to hurt one another. This is an opportunity when kids will begin to get angry, and it will cause problems throughout the week. So my suggestion is just don't allow it to happen. But if it is happening, please make sure that you have control of it. An important part of your week will be learning the names of your campers. I'm not sure which method you prefer to use, but my suggestion is you figure out what is the best way for you to learn the kids' names, and you learn them immediately. You will be required to do some discipline this week, trying to get them to go to bed, trying to get them up. So the quicker and faster you know their name and can say their name, it will challenge them to do what you've asked them to do. On Sunday, you need to make sure that you set the rules down, make sure both counselors agree with those rules, and that you are going to both enforce them. A difficult thing that will happen is if each of you as counselors have a different set of rules, it will cause problems and pit the kids against camp counselors, and we don't want that to happen. So please discuss with each counselor in your cabin what your specific guidelines will be. After lights out, there will be lots of giggling and things that happen, and you will have to determine what is the best way for you to function in your cabin. You are going to need sleep, and the kids in your cabin are going to need sleep. So please try to allow our students to get some rest. Let's talk about personal care for you as a counselor. If you have medicine, please keep it in the nurse's station. I know it is very tempting to keep it here in your cabin, but all it will take will be one student to get in your medicine, and it will make a bad day for you and for them and for all of us. Each camper has their own medication and will be kept in the nurse's station, as you've seen on a previous video. Please make sure and remind them to go take their medicine so that the nurse doesn't have to chase them down. As you are taking care of yourself, that also means that you are eating right and you are taking all of your medication the way the doctor has prescribed for you.